Hello, it's July 26th, 2025. Just got done doing yard work. I, uh, I was going to wait, clean up and stuff. I really couldn't shake this, and we just got home from a vacation, and part of it was, we go to a UPCI church, and now, and that's part of the new church we went to. I grew up in it, got away from it, and but the church we're going to now is part of the UPCI, and so we just got back from National NAYC, National Youth Congress, and it was amazing to see my daughter worshiping, my nephew worshiping. My nephew got the Holy Ghost, and the last video number 10, I was talking about the song and there being no hope in it, and so during this week, during this trip, and North American Youth Congress, I couldn't think of it. I got a message from someone, and thanking me for these videos, and he's going through really difficult time, and he said it's nice to hear that I'm not alone in this, and it's been crazy hearing these some of the remarks I'm getting from people, that my words can are helping people, and this person, this man included, his message really hit me, and so I wanted to do this video now because so much of my life has changed. We're about to get a puppy in 5 days. I have never been an animal person, and for some reason my pastor's dog, I fell in love with one of theirs, and it's the first time I've ever experienced this kind of affection, like with an animal, and so I sought out. I really wanted a dog, and I so much of my life in the last year and a half has changed, and this trip, this vacation, part of it was our family vacation, and it ended with the youth convention, and so the last video, I was trying to allude to, there is hope. You might not know it, you might not see it, but there is hope, and if you can just embrace and fight through the battles, man, life is so beautiful. Yes, sure, I still have my struggles. I still, my dad was a Harley Davidson fanatic, and every time I'd go on vacation, I would pick him up one. So we were in his home state of Tennessee, and part of this vacation, and drove past a Harley shop, and I was like, oh, I would have got my dad a shirt there. And my wife was like, no, you wouldn't have, because he had gotten to a point where he asked you to stop getting them, not because he didn't like them, just he just didn't want them anymore. He had got heavier, life had gotten a little more difficult, getting out and stuff, but my wife was able to snap me out of it, because I was about to, she noticed I was about to go down a spiral, and she said, no, Keith, no, it's like, no, I'm not gonna, it's just not gonna happen. It's not, let's get real for a minute, and it brought me right back out. So I'm very, very thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my daughter. There was some emotional, there was a sermon that was really emotional, really hit me because of the content and what they're talking about. It really, I related to this guy because of my struggles. So I just I really want to share that there is so much hope. You might not, if you're watching this and and you can relate with anything I'm saying, I'm telling you, it does get better. It gets so much better. you might not see it, and it's hard for me to understand sometimes. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not the same Keith I was before my dad passed. I'm just simply not. There's so much of me changing, still changing, and I'm embracing it. I'm loving it. But one of my biggest struggles was the weight gain I got, and so I'm going to touch on this real quick. I don't want to dwell on this, because I don't want these videos to be on. That was weird. I don't know what just happened. We're about to have a storm, but it's sprinkling on me. I don't care. So I'm just gonna touch on this real quick. From January to April-ish, maybe May, I don't know. A lot of last year, first several months, it was a blur for me. We were talking about it on the way on the start of our vacation. You know, when do you guys think I started? I asked my wife and daughter, you know, when did you think I started getting better? And there's some conflicting parts. Part of the problem is, though, is I tried to hide a lot of what I was dealing with, because I didn't want them to know, and I didn't want them to think they weren't enough. I didn't want them to. It was just a battle. So that song in video 10, I can really relate to, because it had nothing to do with not needing them, not, you know, but real quick, I'd started putting on a lot of weight, and in January, I'm not big on New Year's resolutions at all, because I just think the majority of them never, no one ever really accomplishes them. And but I ended up doing this group in desperation of trying to lose weight. What I was doing, though, was I was stacking problems on top of problems. My biggest one being the mental health, and the frustration of it all just kept weighing on me, and it kept making my mental being worse off, because I was focusing so much on all this other stuff was going to somehow make everything better, and it wasn't. It just kept getting worse and worse, because I was failing it. I felt like I was failing my family. I felt like I was failing at losing the weight again, and I just a problem on top of problem, because I was trying to fix everything at once, and it just wasn't working. All to a point to where this is going to be the worst video, because I don't want to dwell on this anymore. I had got to a point to where I had started concocting a plan, and I knew that I knew I couldn't contact my life insurance. I knew there was things I couldn't do, so I knew that I was gonna take a bunch of pills, and it doesn't matter what kind. I was gonna leave a note, and I was gonna tell my wife, do not have an autopsy, burn this letter, do whatever. I was gonna leave her another note, letting her know I tried. I'd cry in bed, and I was very close to following through, and obviously I did not, and but I wanted to make sure my wife and daughter were taken care of, and I was going to try to make it as clean as possible, and I just didn't want an autopsy done, and so she could collect the insurance, and she could move on with her life and be better off, because I was part of the problem. I was convinced of this, and I think where I snapped out of it was my daughter. I think what helped start me out, we even went to Disney at one point in this time, And I things were going, like the trip, I was just numb. I was so numb. We were talking about one of the shows we went to. I was like, my dad would love this. And so storm's coming, and we need it. We really need it. So it's kind of poetic that this is happening right now, I guess. But I started coming out of it, started getting happy about midway, near the 3/4 of the way over, and then we got back and I spiraled. I just spiraled right out, and so it was like I just couldn't, like I was useless. And this convention was hammering on you are worth everything. Like, you are worth so much, and God can use you, and God will get you through. And God has gotten me through so much. And I think our last church, my daughter was having a hard time. She was battling some stuff, and the dad in me came out, and I came out ferocious. And it's really the start of what helped get us into a new church, because I started seeing issues, started seeing what was really it. And I knew that with my wife is not confrontational, and I am. And I think that situation, in my memory, it was like, my daughter needs me. She needs me to help fight for her. And I fought. I fought. And, you know, there's so much of that time. I was angry. I was an emotional roller coaster. I would snap at people. I was just on a downward spiral. And in my memory, in the cloud of everything, when my daughter was just frustrated, she was hurting, I could tell it was like making it to heaven that is the end all be all. Like, that's all I want. I want for my family. I want everyone I know to make it. Like, now I had to be careful, because at this point in life, yes, I wanted it, but now like this whole new me, like I'm telling everyone. I tell everyone about Jesus. I tell everyone that'll listen that how good he is. It's why, and I made a comment about this. I made mention of this before. You'll find me a lot of times on Sundays at the altar, because I know what God did for me. I know what Jesus did. And so me having to go to fight for it, because again, I don't mind being confrontational. I will shred anyone. Do not mess with my family. And I think that's where things really started turning for me, is that my love for my wife and daughter, and more my daughter, when she was born, I wrote this. My wife got this book, and so you had to write. You didn't have to. I did. I think my wife wrote something, but I wrote in there for because parenting was, I was like, if I have a kid, cool. If I don't, I cannot imagine my life without my daughter now. And Keegan's her name. And I wrote in there because I had a lot of issues then, a lot of battles I was fighting, and a lot of it was self-induced. A lot of it was because of stuff I was putting myself through. It's self-inflicted, whatever. But I wrote in there, you will be the reason I make it to heaven. And I stand by that. I've told her, and as I share this now, I'm reminded of it, that it was her, and just her hurting, and the church we were going to at the time, causing that hurt. Again, I love everyone there. I wish them well. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they do. That's why we left. But I don't wish any ill will towards them. But I fought for my daughter. And I think that is when things really started turning for me. And I was able to start snapping out of it, because I want my daughter, I just want my daughter to succeed. But to see her worshiping these past couple days, oh my goodness, I would have missed out on all that. But had I acted, who's to say she wouldn't have spiraled out? Who's to say that she'd have ever gone to this church? What would have happened? There's no way of knowing, obviously, because I see how much growth I've had. Now, my parents hammering us, God first, family second, church third, your church family. And but it's kind of like my church family is also my family, so it's like the second. And which is beautiful. I would have missed out on all that. Possibly would have lost my soul. However you want to look at that, I don't know. It's between God and the individual. But God knows your heart. God knows the struggles I was having. But God also knew that I was going to make it through. God did not let me go. He did not let us. He kept his hand on me. Even in my darkest moment, he made sure that there was, even though I didn't see it, there was still hope. There was still, we're going to get you through this, Keith. And by doing so, other people are now being, it's blowing my mind that people are being touched by these videos. It's mind-blowing to me. And people are saying, you don't even know how many people this is going to help. You're right, I don't. I have no idea. I did not expect that message. I did not expect such a heartfelt, emotional message. And that's why I'm doing this video. And because I don't want number 10 to be the last one. I had to do this now. I want to capture what it is I'm feeling right now, what I'm experiencing. So much, man. I'm not done with these videos. This is not the last one. This is going to be the last of my darkest moment. If people have questions, I will gladly answer them. I'll get as deep as you need me. I will share as much as you want to know, but I want to, these whole videos were to express hope, and that you can make it through. And no matter how dark it is, if I can make it and I can get as close as I was, I'm telling you, I was there. Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. And I would have missed out on all this, and I possibly would have harmed my family in a way that is unrepairable. They could have blamed God. They could have, you know, you could go on and on. Who knows? I have no idea. I don't want to know. I'm never going to know. The fact of the matter is now, the enemy has made me the strongest. I fought through, and Jesus saved me. Jesus spared me, and through him, I'm gonna bring as many people with me as I can. We are gonna glorify God. We're gonna worship with my dad, and I'm telling you what, the enemy has no idea what happened now. Like, the enemy has no idea what he has just made me into, because I'm fighting for God, and I'm bringing as many people with me. And these videos, these videos are gonna, I hope it helps tons of people. Not that I want anyone to go through what I went through, but yeah, you know, this video is way too long, but I can't stop sharing the love of Jesus. I just can't. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative because I know what Jesus did for me. I know there's no one's going to convince me otherwise. And I was at the darkest moment of my life, and the enemy almost took me. And Jesus like, I got you. I got you. And you have no idea what's about to happen. You're right. And I'm loving every moment of it. I'm loving it. And I couldn't be this way without having gone through that storm. And I'm just waiting for what's next. This isn't the last video, but it is the last I talk about the darkest part, because I just don't want to sit and dwell on that. There's so much good has happened and is happening and is still, like, it's beautiful. I promise. Just keep fighting. You will get through it.